want to pick up just a slice of the 23rd verse where it says, behold, the virgin shall be with child and bring a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel. Somebody say Emmanuel, which is translated God with us. Somebody say God with us. That's all I want to talk about, God with us. What would it take? You can be seated. Do you know what it would take to make this Christmas a Merry Christmas for you? Do you know what it would take to make this Christmas a marvelous Christmas for you? Do you know what it would take to make this Christmas a memorable Christmas for you? What about a majestic Christmas? What would it take for it to make it a Merry Christmas for you? I think it don't take much when you get to the essence and real essentials of what Christmas is all about. And it's found in that text. Where the prophet Isaiah had said years ago, and the angel was telling Joseph that the baby that his woman was carrying would be called Emmanuel, which means God with us. I want you to consider, what does God with us mean? Because that's really what Christmas is about. That God dared to step into our world. He dared to come where we were. John says in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And then he goes on to say, and the Word became flesh and dwelt, tabernacle, lived among us. What Christmas really means is that God has come into our world. In some cases, invaded our world. Because some of us didn't want him there. But he's so much God, you can't keep him out when he want to get in. God with us speaks to the fact that he who made the world, he who put the stars in the sky, he who created everything, he who sustained everything, he who put your mama and daddy together, he who put your grandparents together, he who put Adam and Eve together, he is the one who is with, near. He's in proximity. He's not afar off. He's near. He's with. He's in agreement with us. Not just you, not just me, not just them folks over there, but God. Christmas says that God is with us. That's shouting news all by itself. Because, watch this, don't push me now. Watch this. When we get in trouble, what do we say? Why? Why me? Why now? How long? And eventually, what we want to know is, God, all I need to know, are you with me? Because when you have the right one with you, it doesn't matter who's against you. When you have the right one with you, it doesn't matter what the enemies say. It don't matter what the doctors say. It don't matter what the jobs say. It don't matter what the booths say. It don't matter what nobody say when you got the right one with you. And Christmas says God is with us. So as I'm cutting across the field real quick, because she already got me to the 1 yard line, can I tell you what God with us really means? Because God is with me, that means then I am not alone. I'm trying to hold myself. I am not alone. Don't fool yourself. There's more to me than what you see. I am not alone. He is with me. So then I don't have to worry about whether the crowd is with me. It don't matter if my boo is with me. It don't matter even if my children or grandchildren are with me, because God is with me. I am not alone. I'm not in this battle by myself. He's with me. I'm not alone. Look at somebody, tell him, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. Secondly, real quickly, God with us means that I'm not all wrong. Because we all know that we mess up. And we got plenty of folks who are pointed out to us. But God with us means that there must be something right about me. Folks ask me, am I all right? My classic answer when they ask me, am I all right? I may not be all right, but I'm not all wrong either. It's some right somewhere up in there. Sometimes I got to look a little harder, but it's some right somewhere up in there. And God with us means that I can't be all wrong, because if I was really all wrong, if I was really as bad as the devil or the enemy or my haters would try to make me think that I'm really that bad, if I was that bad, God wouldn't have woke me up. God wouldn't have gave me another day. God wouldn't have gave me grace. I know I messed up yesterday. I know I said some things. I may have done some things, but I'm not all wrong. God with us was to say that I'll not let the enemy shame me into giving up on me. Don't you dare give up on you when God ain't gave up on you. He watched over you last night while you closed your eyes to this mean world and woke you up and give you a brand new day. You're not all wrong. Look at somebody, tell them there's some good somewhere up in me. God with us says that I'm not alone. I wish I had time. God with us says that I'm not all wrong. And I really wish I could park that, because too many of us beat ourselves up and allow the enemy to beat us up too. And we just take all kind of trash because we think we're wrong. Yeah, I know you're not perfect. None of us are. But you're not all wrong. Other thing God with us says, because God is with me, I belong. If nothing else, I belong to him because he's with me. See, and I belong means I have value. I belong means I have a connection with somebody. I belong here. What do you mean what I'm doing? I belong here. I don't need your permission to be here. I belong. I'm part of the human race that God made. I belong here. I may not belong in that house. I got my own house, got my own place, but I belong. I belong to be blessed. I belong to be covered. I belong to be where God is. Wherever God is, I belong there. I'm not alone. I'm not all wrong. As wrong as I may be, I'm not all wrong. I belong. Because God is with us, I am. I thought I saw Antonio. I should get Antonio to come up here and flex for y'all. I'm strong. I told you I'm not alone. But because God is with me, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I may not be able to do it all on my own, but because of who's with me, I am strong. I could carry things heavier than what I thought. There's some things I thought was going to take me out, but I found out after I got through going through what I was going through, what I thought was going to kill me only made me stronger. Because I am strong. I thought I couldn't carry that grief. I thought I couldn't carry that breakup. I thought I couldn't carry that loss of job. I thought I was going to lose my mind, but I found out I'm strong. I can handle the mess that God allows to come in my life. I am strong. And even when I get a little weak, Gregory, even when I'm feeling like I can't take another lick, can't take another word, if she say one more word, I found Brother Harris, I'm still strong. Because when I'm weak, his grace. When I run out, he runs in. Because he's with me. His grace is sufficient. His grace is amazing. His grace is everything that I need. I'm strong enough to handle what God and life throws at me. So as you go to celebrate Christmas, don't get it twisted about the gifts and the lights and the trees and the decorations. All that's fine. They accentuate the holiday. But Christmas really is about celebrating the fact that God has showed up in your life. And when God shows up in your life, you ought to get happy. You ought to throw a party. When God shows up in your life, you ought to love on people, especially the people that seem to be unlovable. I said you ought to love on people, especially the people that seem unlovable. Let me try this side over here. Maybe y'all know what I'm talking about. You ought to love on people, especially the people that seem unlovable. You say, why, PG? Why should I love on people that seem unlovable? Because there was a day when you were unlovable, but God loved on you. So you still ought to love on people. You ought to learn how to have a party, how to have joy. I'm going to quit because I've already crossed the goal line. But Christmas is that small beginning of something great God is doing in your life. And it's not waiting until you get to Calvary to celebrate. It's not waiting until you get to Pentecost to celebrate. It's celebrating the birth of something God has planted in your life. It's celebrating the seed that God has given unto you. It's celebrating the promise that God has given unto you that something great is about to happen to you. That's why the shepherds working the midnight shift, when they heard that there was something going on down in the city, left the fields, went to the city, because they heard that God had dared to come where they were. And my sisters and brothers, if we can embrace that truth, that God is with us, fear be gone. A lot of the dumb, stupid stuff we do is out of fear. We scared somebody ain't gonna like us. We scared we gonna look bad before people. Oh, I almost cussed, I'm sorry. The heck with people. I mean, we try too hard. I call Dice up here, he'll say it for me. We try too hard not to let people have a reason to talk about us, as if they got a heaven or hell to put you in. Well, here we are, Sunday before Christmas. And God says, as you go forward, I don't know if your kids are going to make it to your place for Christmas. Don't know if mom and them are going to make it home. Don't know if the siblings are going to make it. Don't know if your boo going to make it. But God said, guess what? I'm here. That's shouting news to me.